Hi and welcome back to Hazelnuts. I've created a super colorful and creative artwork, but this time something went totally wrong during the resin pour. Stay tuned, I'll show you how I fixed the disaster. I always start with the layer of gesso. It's basically a protective coat for the wood that keeps the paint from soaking in. It also gives the acrylic colors a perfect grip. Then it needs to dry for about 24 hours. Patience is the key. For my resin projects, I prefer wooden painting panels. The resin can flow off evenly and doesn't pool in the middle like it often does on canvas. All my paints are from Amsterdam. I mix them with a bit of water so they spread more smoothly on the canvas. I'm starting with a transparent violet spray from Amsterdam. Oh, okay, not a great idea on a black primer. You can't see a thing. But I will use it again later. So let's switch to orange. That works much better. This time I want to create a really colorful abstract piece. You see this kind of art all over social media, but I'm trying to find my own way. It's all intuitive. Just go for it, that's the motto here. I will let the music play for a bit. There's not much to explain right now. I'm just totally in the flow. I see those paintings on Instagram all the time, where they just swipe the brush across the colors with so much energy, and I really want to try that too. So I'm spreading paint all over the canvas, planning to blend it all together in one bold, swinging motion. It's completely intuitive. I just go with the feels right and which color seems to work well together. Okay, let's freeze the frame. There are some parts I really like and others not so much. I imagined it a bit softened and more blended. I probably should have mixed the paint with a bit more water, then it would have glided better across the canvas. But no worries, everything is fixable. I just scrape off the spots I don't like, and honestly some of those even look pretty cool. Today I'm going to share everything I've learned about resin over the past year. I'd really love to know what you'd like to see more of in our videos. Some of you wanted more details about the resin part, so that's exactly what I'm going to do now. First, the painting has to be perfectly level, otherwise resin will flow to one side and we definitely don't want that. Then I clean my cups and tools with isopropyl alcohol to make sure there's no resin left. Isopropyl alcohol is perfect for resin. It removes any residue, dries super fast and leaves no trace behind. Then I always go to a resin calculator website, I will link it in the description, and figure out how much resin I actually need. My artwork is 60 by 60 centimeters, that's what I enter, and I want my resin layer to be around 1 to 2 millimeters thick. The calculator gives me the result 0.72 liters, perfect. I'm using Pro Resin from Epodex. I link it for you below. After 2 years of experimenting, this is honestly the best resin I've worked with. Great quality and really smooth handling. I always wear a respirator mask and double gloves. This resin claims to be less harmful than the others. It just gives me peace of mind and honestly, no smell at all, even the next day. Other resins, let's just say, they can really stink. I mix it 2 to 1, and for a 60 by 60 centimeter piece, 600 milliliters is just right. Then I stir it slowly and evenly for about 5 minutes, making sure to scrape along the sides so everything blends well. At first, resin looks a bit cloudy, but it will turn crystal clear later. The room temperature should stay between 20 and 26 degrees. Even while it cures, that helps avoid bubbles, wobbles or dents. I pour it into a second cup and mix for another 2 minutes. That improves the blend and helps me get perfectly clear layers every time. I made a list of the most important points in English and German. You can pause the video to read it in peace. And there's also a checklist for your next resin pour. In fall and winter, I also placed the resin in a warm water bed around 40 degrees for a few minutes. That helps release air bubbles to the surface and makes the resin easier to pour. I'm spreading the resin evenly with my hands, making sure to get the edges too. Tiny dust particles or specks, I pick them out with a silicone stick. You can still do that about 3 hours before covering the artwork. Why I wait that long, I explain it in a second. I still go gently over the surface with a kitchen torch to pop any remaining air bubbles. The Epoxidharz Pro resin is self-leveling, but I still like to keep things under control, just to be sure. Our highlight, as always, a model car. People who know us love it, and some are a bit divided about us. But hey, try it yourself. Experiment with different things in resin, it's so much fun. And then this happened. Huge mistake. It showed up after just 1 hour. I've never had that before. Do you see those matte spots appearing in the red resin layer already? I think one of the paints or sprays maybe is reacting with the resin. I will just let it dry for now. The next day, those matte spots are still there, of course. Can you see them? Have you ever had that happen or any other resin fails? Let me know in the comments, I'd love to talk about it. But now the big question, how do I fix this? After some research and a little Google session, the solution was clear, a new layer of resin. The first layer hasn't fully cured yet, so within about 24 hours you can simply pour right over it and the new resin will bond perfectly with the old one. If the resin is already fully cured, after about 4 to 5 days, you'll need to sand the surface lightly using a 300 to 600 grit sandpaper so the new layer can stick properly. When I pour and spread the new resin, the matte areas disappear at first. But let's wait and see how it looks in a day. Here is a little pro tip. I usually work with the resin for about 3 hours before covering it. During that time I go over the edges several times to build up a nice even layer. I also scoop up a bit of resin from the side or bottom and spread it back on top. That way enough resin stays in place, the edges stay smooth and you don't get those weird scraps or dents that can happen if you cover it right away. The artwork is saved. I'm so happy. It actually worked. And after thinking about it for a couple of days, I've decided to give my artwork another layer, so let's go for it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video with a bit more explanation, and maybe I could answer some of your questions too. I definitely try to make more videos like this in the future. If you liked it, please subscribe, leave a like and drop a comment. Your support really helps us a lot.